Welcome, King Lizzard on Xbox One with the long-awaited House of Wolves from Destiny, and this is the Prison of Elders Horde mode for Destiny. Something that kind of Destiny should have had from day one in my opinion, and a lot of other people's opinions. However, it's fantastic that Bungie have finally listened to what people have been asking for, and we've got a Horde mode at long last. Now, this Horde mode is lots of frantic shooting action. You basically do 3 waves of 4 rounds, so that's basically 12 waves across 4 rounds, and then you do a final boss wave, so a big chap at the end to take down. Lots of shooting action here, pretty crazy stuff at times. You're kind of hanging on a wire a lot of the time. My colleague actually chose a level 28 to go into. He was in charge of the lobby. I would have stuck him in a level 34 because I'm nasty that way, but we jumped into a level 28 just to see what it's all about, really. I didn't have any keys, any of these purple keys, before I came into this battle, so obviously I can't get anything major from the war chest, but what I can do is show you how to get to that war chest. Basically, when you get to the end of the rounds in Prison of Elders, you'll appear in the main hub where all those port doors open up, as I did at the beginning, and you jump down the big hole in the middle. Pretty much jump all the way down to the bottom as quick as you can, but try not to die obviously in doing so, because you'll limit your time getting to that chest. And once you get down there, there are 3 crates, 2 crates left and right, which anyone can open, and a crate in the middle. And the crate in the middle is where all the goodies are, but in order to open that you must have one of these purple keys. Now, in order to get purple keys, you do need to fight those various bounty missions for the Queen. And at the moment, there seems to be a bit of a glitch. Most people are pretty certain it's not something Bungie have done on purpose. If you collect one of these loot crates from taking down one of the various Queen bounties, and then fly out to the next named area, so for instance, if you're in the Ember Caves on Mars, what you want to do is head out to the Citadel, where the Vex are. So you're heading from a Fallen area to a Vex area, and that will actually kind of reset the clock. You can fly back really quick and pick up again from that crate. So you can do multiple pickups from the loot crate. Some of the best places that I've found are on Earth. And you can, I've actually managed to pick up 4 times from 1 crate. So it's worth doing, getting your keys up first before you come to this mode. Now, in terms of keys, you can only carry 5 keys on each character, plus 5 keys in your vault, so a maximum of 20 keys can be owned by any player at any one time. So it's a matter of making sure that each of your characters have got 5 keys each, if they're high enough to compete in this level, of course, and then keeping them on your person so you can jump in Prison of Elders. I think it's a shame they limited it to 5 each, which should have been unlimited really. If you want to spend your time collecting these and then jumping in the Prisoner of Elders, then that shouldn't be an issue as far as I'm concerned. Why limit it to 5? But maybe they've done that to limit server capacity or something, or limit people's access to it initially while it's fully tested or something. I don't know. But it's a really good mode. As you can see here, we're fighting the Cabal. We're into wave 2 of 3, or actually in wave 3 now, I guess. Shooting these Cabal with their shields, and it is pretty frantic. These first 3 rounds are all about killing and survival. Basically, it doesn't get more complicated than that. Kill the enemy and survive. Once you get through killing the enemy and surviving, it's all about various things like defusing mines, destroying mines. It doesn't get much more complicated than destroying a mine or standing under a mine to defuse it. So it's kind of an area capture, if you like, or control, just like in Battlefield. But apparently apparently there are quite a few different variants of challenges that you have to do in this level. The other thing you'll get is that each level or wave will give you different modifiers to fight against, just like in, you know, the weeklies and the dailies and stuff. You'll get various different modifiers that will make your life harder to achieve your goals in these various rounds. I've currently jumped in here with my fully upgraded icebreaker, so if you want to see the fully upgraded 365 damage icebreaker in action, this is the level for it. I'm also using a Abyss Denial. My Abyss Denial is one level short of full upgrades. I think it does about 3 to 4 damage at the moment, so also it's a great place if you're interested in the Abyss Denial and want to see how it performs. This is a good level for it too. So it's absolutely crazy here at the moment. We're trying to survive, trying to cover each other's backs, take down the various Vex that are being thrown at us at the moment. Obviously we're into set of new waves. All of these waves are Vex orientated enemies. Now the other thing you do get in the House of Wolves, which we've not seen before, is if you see a little red disc on the floor, that is a mine. If you tread on it, you're going to trigger it and it will go off, and it can actually do you some pretty good harm in the middle of a, you know, a hectic battle. It can actually be the death of you if other enemies shoot you shortly after you're hit by this thing. Now you can shoot the mines as they fly up into the air. So like you'll see this round ball of light come out of the mine. You can shoot that, which will stop the explosion. However, you can of course use them to your advantage against the enemy if you know where they are and you don't tread on them yourself. You do get the mines in standard story missions, but also you do get them in this particular horde mode. Now if you see there, we've got a control point pop up. So this is all about diffusing these mines, and to diffuse it, it's as simple as just standing under it. You can see the circle building up there, and it's all about keeping the enemy out of this circle. The enemy get into the circle and you get overrun, your counter's not going down. I'm not sure if it resets because we never actually, because it's level 28 and I'm a level 32 here, it wasn't a massive challenge for me, so I didn't at any point get overrun, so I'm not sure if the enemy get into the circle. I'm pretty sure it will be like in you know, the Vault of Glass, where if they get into the circle it'll basically stop counting, or it will just reset and you've got to keep them out again. And at the higher levels that's going to be quite interesting, I think, to keep the enemy out of these particular areas. But at level 28 it's, you know, it's more than doable. There's one of those mines there. Now some of them seem to explode when you shoot them on the ground. I'm not sure why that is. I'm wondering if you hit it dead center in that red light, that maybe that causes an instant explosion. But it seems to be a bit random to me at the moment. But basically if you see that ball of light rise and you don't actually destroy it, get out of there quick because you're going to get damaged. Take down some of these hobgoblins. Nasty characters. These guys will actually, if they get a shot on you, those yellow ultras, they can actually take you down, even at my level. So you really don't want to give those guys an opportunity. Focus on the enemy in terms of hardest first. So if you're in a Fallen session and all of a sudden you've got, you know, Kel running at you, the yellow Kel versus, you know, the red Kel or the, you know, the skanks or whatever, then go for the ultra Kels, because they're the ones that are going to get in your face and take you down very quickly. So it's kind of, you know, work on the hardest first. If you've got something next to you that's, you know, going to impair you, then obviously take it out, but do try to focus on the more difficult players, the more difficult enemy with the other players. Now it's important, obviously, you do work as a team. Some of these enemies, especially the ones with shields, it's always good to have a fusion or an arc-based weapon to take those shields down. That new pistol you get given in the second mission of House of Wolves story is actually a really good pistol for taking down enemy shields. I typically find that a lot of people are using their more explosive weapons, so I tend to be the guy that's taking down shields with the arc weapon and stuff. But I do recommend that if you're coming into Prison of Elders or even Nightfall, you know, and or even the higher levels of strikes, of course, that you do come into those missions with a good arc weapon, either a fusion weapon or this new pistol from the House of Wolves is quite handy. So we're into the third round now. New set of waves. I'm just going to put some heavy ammo synthesis on and some ether seeds, because now we're up against the Fallen. So I'm also using the rocket launcher, the Admonisher 3. Now this rocket launcher is, I think it's one shy from fully upgraded, so it's almost fully upgraded, and it's a pretty decent rocket launcher. It's okay. It's not as good as obviously some of the exotics, but it's, you know, it's livable, shall we say. I just never got a Galahorn from this game yet, even after probably 600 to 700 hours of playing. So it's, you know, just one of those things, I guess. I guess it will make it all the sweeter when I do finally get it. Okay. Always watch your team members' backs. So if you're kind of in the middle of no man's land and you're clear, just check where your team are, because they could well be in trouble, and just get involved and help them out. I did, after this match, venture into a level 34 on my own. I lasted 2 rounds. It was brutal. There was just too much coming at me to try and survive it. I mean, obviously there are probably, you know, a lot better players out there that can do more, but I didn't do, you know, too shabby to get through a round. When I say a round, I mean 3 waves. So it's 3 waves, and then literally I went into the next round and died. I'm not sure why I didn't get match made with anyone, or why no one joined me mid-game. They're obviously playing in sessions already or something. So in this particular part of the mission, it's all about destroying the mines. So you're actually shooting the mines to take them down. And the good thing about this is it gives you something else to do. It's not drastically challenging, but you can do it from a distance, so you're not restricted to be in one area like you are on the capture. You can, you know, shoot these mines across from the other side of the map. You don't have to be anywhere near them, which is obviously, you know, good for the player, because it means you're not in the fray of the action, you know, risking life and limb. But obviously what you do need to do is keep an eye out for enemy whilst you're trying to take the mine down. So all of this took around about 25 minutes of actual shooting. Obviously you've got load screens and various other things. So one of these sessions is probably going to take you about 30 minutes. At least at this level 28. Obviously higher than that is, you know, going to be a different situation altogether. You could spend maybe 40 minutes or more in these sessions, depending on what weapons you have, really. If you've got some very good exotic weapons, then obviously, you know, that's going to cut your time in a big way. I'm running kind of, like I said, I've got my Abyss Denial, which, you know, isn't a bad gun, it's okay. I've got my Admonisher, which isn't the best rocket launcher in the world, but it's alright, it kind of does its job. And I am using my Icebreaker, which obviously is a showstopper device. You know, that's highly recommended sniper rifle, my favourite weapon in the game. So we're into the second wave of Fallen. Mine destruction. Now with these keys that you need for Prison of Elders, you know, the final loot crate, there are, as I said, you know, bounties are what you need to focus on for the Queen, but there are quite a few of them. The wolves can differ in hardness. I noticed that the ones on Earth were level 28, I believe, and I think the ones on Venus are level 30, so that's obviously indicative of the environment. So obviously, for instance, you know, Mars is a higher level general characters than Venus is, and vice versa. So I guess they carried that through when they put the new, you know, the new bounties together and stuff. So the modifiers just ended there.
You are not.
Quick scout round for ammo. Round over. So the next round is basically going to be Hive. It's just giving us another modifier. I quite like the design of this level. It looks pretty cool. Obviously that looks like a big eye, sort of talking June stuff. Obviously it's a servitor of some sort, I guess, but it's you know, I think it's very well designed. The maps are pretty busy. They look pretty cool too. The only thing I will say is, obviously, until you learn the maps, you know, do be wary of getting caught up against bits of scenery. This happened to me a few times when I was, you know, when I played this very first level. I found myself backing myself into a corner and getting myself killed by kind of Kell and stuff. So, you know, until you get used to the map, kind of stay on the paths. Don't try to, you know, corner yourself too much, because you might end up getting trapped in a corner by enemy. There's nothing more frustrating than dying because you got stuck on scenery, trust me. So what I've been doing for the channel is I do have the Destiny House of Wolves story that I've put together. I'm going to stick some various touches to it and stuff, and just trim it down a little bit. I've also got a loot chest guide that I'm doing for Earth and Venus, for these new loot crates and this little bug, just so everyone's aware of it. Something we discovered on sort of day one, that we could do this by accident. So I know it's kind of probably quite common knowledge now, I would hope, but just in case, I'll stick a video up so that people know what it's all about. Anything to help the community out, you know, get us some extra goodies. The good thing is about this loot crate drop, the multiple pickups, the majority of the stuff you're going to pick up is going to be ammo synthesis, mainly green ammo. So do make a point of using up your green ammo a lot, because otherwise you're going to get inundated in your inventory with green ammo. That's one of the downsides of it. The other great thing about it is engrams. You get tons of blue engrams from these crates, so it's a fantastic way of leveling up your cryptar. And obviously every time you level up your cryptar, you get a goodie package from the postmaster. So, and sometimes that happens to be legendary. So it's a fantastic thing to be able to do these multiple drops into these loot crates, so that you can, you know, acquire more goodies to help you level up in the game. I would imagine that Bungie are going to patch that problem quite quickly. So, you know, if any time's to do it, now is the time. I'll get my video up this weekend, so you guys can
reinforcements.
What's the word?
For combat.
Benefit from it, if you like.
Or
We're into wave 3, round 4. There's only one wave to go before we get to the big boss man himself. You do get some ogres in this Hive section, a couple of ogres. Lots of cursed thrall. So in this case we're defusing the games. It's literally a matter of standing underneath the mine. The more of you are in those areas to defuse, the quicker you're going to defuse it. So again, teamwork is essential. If one guy stands there, it's going to take a lot longer than all three of you. So it's all part of backing each other up and playing as a team in this prison of elders. My colleagues are down there. I know the next one's going to spawn here, so I'm going to wait here for it to arrive, and while I'm doing so, I'm going to give my colleagues some covering support. Now these wizards are lethal. You know, really focus on taking those things down quickly. But the kind of thing you'll walk into a corner and then all of a sudden you'll get hit by a barrage of those wizard arc bolts, and all of a sudden you're dead. So do focus on killing wizards swiftly, along with knights, of course. Things like thralls and acolytes can be very overwhelming when there's kind of 3 or 4 of them around you. So do make a point of keeping those guys segregated, you know, take out a couple at least so that you're filling the field before you start getting stuck into taking down mines and stuff.
The final round.
Okay, so final boss round. Round 5. What are we at?
Stalker of the Vex, the overmind Minotaur.
Megavex. So, same deal with this guy as with the standard Vex. Hit him in the stomach. That's his abdomen. That's his weak area. So hit him right in the center of his stomach in that light area. That'll get the most damage hits on him. You've got to keep moving in this. You're going to be inundated with enemy whilst you're trying to take down the boss. Now the boss does not move from that podium where he is. He does move a little bit left and right, but other than that he doesn't go any further. So he doesn't come out like Crota and give you a hard time. He literally stays there, so he's not going anywhere. He's not going to creep up on you. So the key is focus on these close-up enemies. Focus on these close-up enemies. Take them down first. Once you've cleared a bit of a path, get shooting the main boss again. But you know, another key part of it is to keep your colleagues covered. If they go down, get them up and get them up quickly. Them going down will result in you and your colleague going down very swiftly. So always get your colleagues up. 1, it's good for the community. 2, it's how to play the game. There's nothing more frustrating than a big battle going on and you're lying there in a blue circle of light waiting to be revived, trust me. So we're chewing into this guy's life bar down to 2/3 at the moment. He does take a bit of killing, this guy, so I'll be interested to see what these level 34 type characters are. They'll probably take ages. Okay, so just a bit of covering fire there for my Guardian colleagues. You really don't want to get hit by that boss. A couple of those big barrage bolts that he fires land on you, you're done for. And then it's pretty much waiting for your team to respawn you. Do try to avoid standing close to one another as a group, because obviously if one of you dies from an arc bolt or a series of, actually I think that's void bolts, a series of void bolts from this guy, anyone close to you is going to die too. So you don't want to stand too close together, but you don't want to be too far apart and you can't support each other. Excellent shot. Now here I was shooting at him from an angle. When he turns his abdomen, his arm kind of blocks. It doesn't actually block his stomach from visibility. That's the slightly annoying part. But it will actually stop your shot penetrating the enemy. So you do want to try and shoot this guy from front on, so that your ammo and your damage counts. Some up close goblin action here. Let's swiftly get rid of that guy, because he's a big threat. Where's the enemy when you need it? Ready. Take down that harpy. Get down this hobgoblin, he's a goner. Shot quite badly here. And obviously this House of Walls content is $19.99 on its own. Is it worth $19.99? In terms of content and what they've done, I think this one is, I don't know, I think I'd be more happier to pay kind of 16 quid for this. I know it call me pedantic, but I don't know, 20 quid seems a bit high. And it is still, I mean, yes, we've got the Prison of Elders, it's a great piece of horde work and stuff. It's a new horde mode. It's kind of something though that I feel should have been there from day one with this type of shooting game, so it's a bit cheeky to charge us for it. I think there was probably always an intent to put this in, but they kept it back for DLC purposes personally. That said, it is very good, and I think it's worth getting it to add it to the game. If you're into Destiny and you really like Destiny, then definitely buy it. If you're one of these people that kind of love-hate Destiny, maybe you don't want to spend the 20 quid. You know, your decision. But for me, I'd already bought the DLC because a friend of mine bought the DLC at the very beginning of release. So we managed to kill that boss there. But I was lucky. I think I'm pretty certain I paid £25 for my DLC because I bought it in the first 2 weeks. And then after that it went up to the £35 for the full season pass. So we're having a bit of a party there, waiting for this hole to open. Excellent. I was dancing away there, I didn't realise what was going on. So this bit I kind of got a bit confused. I wasn't sure what I was doing because I hadn't seen any videos of this before going into the prison of elders, so I'm kind of scanning around wondering what the hell is going on here. I even tried to jump back up. Yeah, there you go. I'm going to fall all the way down, nearly die. Basically, when you get in that hole, just get straight to the bottom. Try to protect yourself so you don't die, obviously, because then you'll have respawn times and you may not get anything. And this is the treasure room. So you can see left and right, there's 2 crates there you can pick from. That is the key chest. So without the key, you're not getting anything. So I'll take this opportunity to thank you guys for watching King Lizzard's Prison of Elders on Destiny House of Wolves. Please remember to rate the video, and if you're not a subscriber, feel free to click that sub button. Everyone's welcome on King Lizzard's Game Lounge. Take care.